So I'm here with the Horizont and the Enrico Preuss, who makes the Horizont. I was gonna make a joke about a limited Horizont, but I can't. Doesn't even apply to the guy. He's clever, so I don't know what I'm saying. Usually what I would do, Harry holding the guitar. It's still not funny, I know. Harry and the guitar up there, switching. It's very early. It's about 11. It's not... Am I a musician or what? Very early. I have coffee. Enrico, do you have coffee?
Well, we're having coffee, yeah. Just a bit, but it's enough.
It's good, okay. Harry, Robin, you guys have coffee? Yeah. Good. What was I gonna say? Usually I would go, oh, Harry, put that thing on the screen. Usually I would go and explain all the controls. Only that when Enrico does that to me, my eyes get very glassy and I drift away to a beautiful meadow with fat unicorns. Because there's some complexity to be had with this pedal. I'll roughly do some stuff and then we'll go into sounds and things. So this is a phaser. That's easy to get. Swooshy things. Van Halen. Only that it's not Van Halen. You can turn that thing on and off. So far, I still have you. You can tap the phasing speed. Le tap. With a soft clicky. Nice, look at the thing flashing. That makes sense. Then you have an input signal level thing. Or general signal is volume. Enrico likes to name knobs to different words so that you have to work harder to understand them. You have a mix, which technically makes sense, only that Enrico thinks that on the left, it's full mix and detunability, and here, it's no mix. Which, again, I don't know what they smoke in Berlin, but it must be good stuff.
And it makes total sense, because you're not used to.
However that makes sense in your world. Okay, good. Depth is the depth of the phasing, and Spurt, if you speak German, makes sense, because Spurt is speed. It actually isn't. Geschwindigkeit is speed, but Spurt is when you're running at a brisk pace. So that's le speed, as you can also see on the... As I should also... the envelope control was set to purely envelope and not... See? So now you can actually see on the light what the speed is. Okay. That's technically simple. Then you have a waveform knob, which is very tiny but has a line on it. We talked about the line yesterday, which is good. I like little knobs with lines. Way to go. And that does different waveforms, which you have to figure out what they do by listening. Then you have this phase or emphasis, which you can turn on and off. Regeneration is how much you're emphasizing certain frequency ranges. And there's such a thing as when people say stage phasers. 1 stage, 2 stage, 3 stage, and so on. And apparently we have numbers here, and I'm going to say that that's what that is. So this will emphasize in the higher frequencies, more in the high mids, more lower, not that pronounced. And 4, because he's funny, doesn't do shit.
It does, but...
Well, you said
later.
4 doesn't do anything when it's...
On its own?
When it's on.
Yeah. But hey, you have to experiment.
But when it's off, then 4 does something, but when combined with other switches. Now, lots of shit happens when you combine different switches. Not something you would expect. It's like when it's on, and I have the high frequencies going swooshy, and then the high mids. That's what I'm talking about! You don't know what happens! So you can make the sound of a crying baby, and that's awesome. It's worth the price of admission alone. So the point is, whatever combinations of switches, whether it's in the on or off stage, can result in distortion, crybaby sounds, or different things. And you will have to figure that out on your own, because I don't know. He claims he knows. I don't think he does.
I know.
No.
It's about fun.
If I tell him what happens when it's in the off stage and switches 1 and 3 are on, I would like to, we'll test that. I would like him to tell me what the sound will be, and then we'll play it and see if he's right, because I don't think he can predict that. But maybe he can. Maybe that's how brilliant Enrico Preuss is. Okay. It's got a pan thing. When it's off, it's pretty much a mono pedal. When it's on, it's panning left and right. And we shall test that. Let's start in the mono position with a mono amp. Then we have the spurt control. So the question is, are you controlling the speed of the phasing with the LFO, the low frequency oscillator, which's speed is controlled by the spurt knob? Makes sense. Swooshy, 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 speed, depth, clear. Now, it's still moving back and forth, but while it's moving back and forth around a center speed, let's call it that center speed is controlled by an envelope. And that's not like the mail comes and gives you a bill. That's the different kind of envelope. Envelope is the level of your guitar. So you play and it's a high level and then it kind of goes down. And you can actually do that high level and it goes down. So really fast speed and then to a slower speed. While it's still doing wooga 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 wooga. So you go wooga 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 wooga. But it's still doing wooga wooga. Is that correct? There we go.
Yeah, kind of like, but I'm trying to figure out what you mean by wooga wooga.
Moving. It's wooka wooka wooka. It's, the wooka wooka is my way of saying it's phasing.
Yeah, okay, let's take this as it is. We see what the audience will think.
I was dead on with my interpretation of the sound there. But if you want to hold that envelope completely, not envelope, the LFO completely, and just have it do and stand there instead of wow, 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 wow. Then you go envelope, and now the LFO is completely out of the picture and is only controlling in stereo the panning.
That's correct.
I paid attention.
Yes, you can learn stuff.
Enrico says you should read the manual. Yeah, no one's gonna do that. But read the manual. Then there's a sweep button. Sweep knob. Sweeps the sweep switch. This is difficult for a lispy guy. The sweep switch. Right now the swooshy is enveloped when it's in the... No, it's LFO. Damn it, I can't read. When it's in the envelope position, it's purely the schwow. And then envelope up or down, does it go chow or schwap? Okay. And then fuel is his way of saying sensitivity for the envelope, and decay, how long does it take to envelope, I guess. Whew. I said I wouldn't explain everything, but I explained everything.
The decay is defining how long the envelope.
That's
will
what I said.
take. It's going
You
down.
don't see where my finger is back there with your tiny eyes. You don't know.
Your fingers are so big, wide.
I'm going to ignore you now. We're going to go into this.
You can't.
I'm just going to
You
pretend
won't.
you're not there. Oh, by the way, I, for legal reasons, have to state that I'm getting paid for this video, even though I'm not really sure I am. Because I guess you'll figure out after this video if, this company wants to pay me or not. It's a gamble. Who knows? I'll do it anyway. I don't have to release it. Possibly, if you're seeing this, I got paid. Let's put it this way. So I want to start with the simplest thing possible, which means mono, going into the Tone King, Sky King, which is completely hidden by the pedal. Mic with a Lewitt MTP 440. Thank you, Harry. Right there. And also the aux with a 412. So it's not stereo, but you're just hearing both of them at the same time. Clean sounds like so. That's a great sound. Enrico, do we even need to turn on the pedal? I think that's a great sound. I think your pedal sounds amazing when it's bypassed.
Just turn it on.
You sure?
Just turn it on. Turn on the M phase switches.
But wait, that is kind of cool. I like that it's suppressing it and then it's coming up. I have 1 and 2 on. Of course, you would have known that that's exactly what happens. I turn the emphasis off. That is in the middle. It also has a loop, by the way, and expression and things. So, LFO. I want the envelope to be here. Completely LFO, no envelope. Good. And we'll turn it on. So obviously with mix at 0 you have a vibrato. That makes total sense to no one! Just saying.
But why? Just explain why.
Why? Do you explain to us why mix at 0 is vibrato?
Why it's not. It's not about 0, it's about 0 in the middle.
Ah, 0 in the middle.
And then it doesn't matter if it's left or right. All you have to know is on which side is what. Doesn't matter if the clean is on the left or on the right side. Just widen up your horizont.
Okay. I'll leave this in the middle. How about that?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Good starting point.
What?
It's a good starting point.
Yep.
At least.
Stay in the middle. I want a little bit of reverb. That's a beautiful phaser. What else do you want? I think we're done with this video. Thank you, Enrico, for coming.
Go on. There's more, way more to explore.
Good then. Fine. So, waveforms. going to bitch about this. I already told you I'll bitch about this. I'm going to assume that's square. I would like to see on the interface that it's square, which you can. It's a tiny little knob. So I think that knob should be bigger and indicate what it is that you're hearing. Also, you could use your ears, but still, that's square, right?
Indeed, you can hear it.
Yes, I know I can hear it, but I would like to be able to go to the interface and go square before I play. When are you going to go live? Wait, where was it again? And then in between the songs, go and fiddle around and listen?
Generally, it doesn't make sense because you have to hear if you like the square even before you play.
If in between songs I need to switch it, which someone might, you'll have to listen. And who wants the guitar player on stage fiddle around with his waveform?
You can see it on the LED if you want to. It's the easiest way to identify which kind of waveform it is.
I can see it on the LED? Yeah. No, dude, graphic. Give me a... No, you don't talk your way out of that. Graphic.
I don't.
I'm sorry. You tried. I even fell for it for half a second. Yes, you can see it on the LED. I want to see the guitar player bending down on his pedal board going like, guys, wait a second. I got to look at my LED.
It's totally easy.
Print.
Print what?
Print it on it.
Yeah, it's printed in the manual.
You know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. Even Django knows what I'm talking about.
Don't you want to play?
For those who don't know waveforms, that was a something saw. I'm gonna go saw down. That's saw up. And we're back to sine. Is that a full sine or possibly a little bit more triangle?
No, it's a full sine.
Mine is Leo. What are you? What's yours? Get it? What's your sign?
Capricorn.
He went for it. I don't know. Is that
That's
triangle?
a lump.
What?
That's a lump. It's 1/2 of the sine
A lump.
with the peak on top.
Usually I try to avoid lumps, but okay. Sample and hold. Not a lot of people have that. That's cool. That samples and then holds, as the name suggests. But it's also unpredictable. Sometimes it might have a lot of movement. Sometimes it might sample in the same range.
Just speed it up a bit.
It's my KMA Audio Machines test riff. We'll write a song with that.
Yeah, it's good.
That's cool. And then we have random slope, which is random
Like a random
amplitudes, but
triangular.
it doesn't jump, it slopes to it. It's less pronounced than the sample and hold.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. See, I read a book about things. No, I didn't. Book was about monkeys, not about this. So, we're gonna go back to this. Emphasis on. Doesn't do shit if none of the switches is on. Now it's emphasizing higher stuff. Now it doesn't. And the regeneration, I think, acts more like a cue, or like a cue, like a. Why can't I think of the word?
Get it?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Resonance.
The resonance, yeah.
Yes,
it's about
yeah,
the resonance.
resonance.
You have to play lower notes.
I have to play lower notes, he says. So, that's easy to understand. Obviously, switch number 4 doesn't do anything, because that makes sense. But then if you combine it in the on state with another switch, it does things. So, it is on now, and switch 2 and 4 are engaged.
Yeah.
Predict what happens.
It's oscillating.
What's oscillating?
There is an oscillation going on.
What sound is going to happen if I play?
You're having the oscillation going on and also some distorted sounds. And you can change the pitch with the depth and with the regeneration.
Oh, you have to also turn the pedal on. That helps.
Might help.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that I had to turn the pedal on.
I didn't know that you turned it off. I don't know, there's no reason to turn it off while doing a demo or review about this, so... Do me a favor and go to the sample and hold waveform.
Okay.
Because it gives you kind of random step sequencer feeling. And speed it up.
It doesn't really want to self-oscillate.
It do. It's, you know, self oscillation is a...
Oh, what? Can't hear what?
Self oscillation is a thing what's going on when you're not playing and there's something coming out.
What? Say that again, what?
Self oscillation is the thing which is happening when you're not playing and the device is giving you an audio signal.
But I want to play guitar!
But sometimes you should stop playing guitar, Henning.
Well, your face sometimes should... Oh, I don't know. Some insult that really hurts you. That's what it should.
That's okay.
Well, apparently that's something you can do.
You need a coffee?
I'm good, thank you, Lauren. Okay. 1 and 2. It has built-in Indian flutes. Quiet ones. Wait. The pedal's not on,
Yeah, no.
but it still makes those sounds.
Yeah, it's magic, isn't it?
Okay, apparently with the switches, shit happens and you can go crazy. We might at some point want to go back to actually playing guitar. Am I allowed to play at some point?
Yeah, okay. I'm fine with this.
Well, I'm going to turn it off. And earlier I had something really cool. Yeah, when it's off, but then it's distorting kind of somehow. That's kind of cool. If I turn the thermie on behind it, which is set to wacky shit, not behind it, in the loop. Look, it's in the loop. I can fully imagine that for a soundtrack with a low beat behind it, really filtered to some kind of what was that called? Arrival. You know that Arrival with the big ass spaceships and the aliens are all like scribbly in the fog. You know that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it recently.
That's
will fit perfectly.
I would totally do that.
Also, like all these older space movies, like even Horizon.
Yep, yeah, okay. And the spaceship comes down and I go, totally works. So don't say that's not usable, because it is. Okay.
Just go with the envelope modes.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. So right now I'm gonna envelope control. Right now I'm on envelope and LFO, which means I'm controlling the overall speed while the envelope is still doing its wibbly-wobbly thing, and I'm going up right now. I have to turn the pedal on.
Turn off the switches.
I'm working on it! These videos are easier when the builders are not in the frickin' room. But it's supposed to go up right now. It sounds like it's going down.
Now we'll speed up. When you're hitting the strings, it's going up. And then it goes down.
And then it's going down. So it's going up.
Yeah. Just crank the decay a bit more. More. I imagine it with higher level. It's going up and it's going down. So it's about the direction of the envelope.
Yeah. So if I turn it around, it's opposite to what I'm doing.
Just raise the decay a bit more.
More decay,
so that you can hear how it's going down or up.
I had the sensitivity or fuel all the way at the bottom, which was more like really fast and really slow. If you have it less sensitive or more, or wherever it's set now, it's a more gradual slope. I'm still kind of switching to it directly. Oh, we completely forgot to say, this is analog, right?
This is completely analog. Yeah.
It's not doing a digital thing.
No, the LFO section is digital, but the envelope section is completely analog.
Which is why it sounds good. But as you can see, it's still pulsating, and that's the LFO. Which, does this spurt right now do something? Yes, I'm enveloping to where the spurt is set. Yes, the speed of the spurt still is the speed of the spurt speed.
You set the minimum speed with the spurt knob.
Yes, so this is where I want to go with my minimum speed.
Just do me a favor and crank the decay completely, because then you hear the long decay.
So if I don't want that speed to do anything, I go only envelope. I'm looking at the screen, I see a dog. There we go. Thank you, Harry. Are you playing with your ding-a-ling up there? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Is Robin playing with your ding-a-ling up there? Maybe, okay. I mean, what can you do? You gotta be tolerant, you know. Let the kids do their stuff. Envelope. Now, this doesn't do anything, or at least right now, nothing audible. You see, it's not moving, it's just sitting there.
It's moving, but pretty slow.
And if I have it set to envelope, then the sweep is purely determined by the envelope.
Lower the fuel, yeah. Now lower.
If I put emphasis on and put that here.
Now it's getting wacky.
What?
It's getting wacky.
Funky donkey. Sounds like a touch wah, but is not. It's a touch phaser. It works really well. I'm having fun. It again. Okay, so clearly fun can be had with that. Since the LFO now is off, anything I do on the waveform isn't going to affect it. Let's do one more thing. Instead of the first frequency, we do the second or the stage, or I don't know what these people call that. Oh, pedal has to be on.
Turn it on.
I just said I'm realizing that! Is it supposed to go boom?
Yes, in your case, yes.
You could use it as a bunk pedal. Wait, I want that with the thermi. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it doesn't do it anymore. God damn it! The thermi is breaking it. That was cool. You probably want overdrive or distortion, or in your case, fuzz, behind it. Because if I put that in front of it, I'm killing my envelope because dynamically it's all correct?
Yeah, indeed. But it's always a matter of taste. If you want to have it like this, or when you're just using the horizon as a phaser.
But when I'm doing the envelope stuff, when I'm doing the envelope stuff, putting distortion in front of it is not going to give me a clear envelope, because my signal is going to be very compressed and the horizon doesn't know where loud and where soft is.
Depends on how you play it. When you're playing kind of like this, it's working perfectly.
Well, let's see. I'm putting this Manticore thing in front of it, slightly distorted. Sounds like...
You should take down the M phase.
The what? The M phase.
Turn on the M phase because it's really high in harmonic content.
Let's see. I would still put that drive behind it because I think the effect is more pronounced when you're giving it a clean signal. But that's really cool. So if I'm on 3 and turn that on again with more emphasis. Oh, careful there. More 3 is way more subtle.
It is because it's in a lower frequency range.
What he said. What's Harry's doing the stuff up there again that he was doing earlier. I know. Those kids. So moving on to, I have a pedal on the floor. There's also a dog. Hey X, do you want to do the pedal? I have an expression pedal and I can control the spurt with the expression pedal if I so choose. Of course, you can't see that in the desk cam because it's slightly too high. But trust me, I'm using my foot. Or you can control the sweep. Which is now no longer controlled by the LFO, correct?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool because I can really do these crazy filter sweeps if I wanted to. Yeah, but I kind of want the emphasis on. Okay, one more thing to cover. You build a complex pedal, it can do a lot of things. Which is going into the Revv Dynamis and the Revv Generator 740, going into the Torpedo Studio and the Torpedo Reload, right there. One of them is being load boxed by the Reload, one of them is being load boxed by the Studio. And this way I have a stereo setup like so. Actually, I do not. Why not, people? Now. Okay, since that is controlled by the LFO, wait, if I put the expression on Spurt, which is now controlling my LFO, I should be able to do expression left and rightness. No, that's wrong. That's just controlling the speed. I'm an idiot. But you knew that I'm an idiot.
Nothing to add.
What, Enrico, what?
I mean, there's nothing to add to my coffee because it's perfect.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to add.
So some sample and holdiness. With the Thermae from Chase Bliss in the effects loop, that is pretty damn cool. So what if I'm controlling that with an envelope? Complete. No, I want this. Sweep is envelope. Yeah, but now the LFO is controlling the left and right, and the sweep's controlling the sweep. So I discouple. Okay, you don't. Just let me. What? Now I got it. Now the LFO is doing the panning independently of the sweep, which is being controlled by the envelope. Yes, X, I know it's complicated. I know. I'm trying to explain it. Oh. I'll be right there.
Did you use a whammy bar on a modulation pedal?
Yeah, and why not?
Just explain why.
Because it's fun to wiggle the stick. You want to tell me you don't like to wiggle your stick?
I'm not having a whammy bar on my guitar.
Well, I do, and I wiggle it. Deal with it, Mr. Preuss. I'm about done here. So, what do we think about the Horizont? Given that he could kick my ass, I love it.
Oh, come on, just be honest.
Okay, there is... What X? X has an opinion. There's a lot to be discovered. This is not the pedal you throw on the floor and immediately understand it. The builder himself spent an hour explaining it to me, and I'm not new to pedals, and I'm not new to words like envelope and LFO and waveforms, and I understand the effects of all of them. So that means give it time. I'm even thinking going into a store and spending half an hour with it at the store. It might be the make or break it point for you to buy it or not, but you're not gonna get everything out of it. You're not gonna get the full, I know what this thing does. Okay, it really takes some time to predict what happens when you flick this switch and this switch. What I just wanted to do was having the panning being controlled by the LFO and the frequency sweepy thing by the envelope, and have those to be separate. And it took me a little bit to understand that I have to be here and here. And so, okay, give it time. It sounds great. It sounds analog because it is. Now, I like the predictability of the emphasis switches 1, 2, 3. That's cool. 4 doesn't do anything unless you combine it. And that's where then, to me, I know he says he knows what's going to happen, some random shit's going to happen. And at that point, let creativity take over. At that point, flip 4 and 2 exactly, and then off or on. And just let it go and deal with it and find out what you can do creatively with that. Have recording ready, because you might not be able to find that setting again. So that's cool. It gives you some, for my taste, it gives me some random element where, you know, crazy stuff can happen. Usable crazy stuff or unusable crazy stuff, up to you. Now, I'm going to bitch about 3 things. Thing number 1, thing is pretty damn big. That has something to do with Enrico wanting the foot switches to be rather far away from everything else. Obviously, there's also lots of technology in there, but his philosophy, and that's valid, is I don't want people to stomp on the shit I built. Okay, makes sense. Whereas Chase Bliss, for example, goes the complete opposite way. It doesn't give you a lot of control on the pedal and gives you dip switches, which is a little bit annoying, but the pedal is really small. He's like, I want it as small as possible, even though it's inconvenient to control. Here, everything is right there, and I really like that. Everything is right there. There's nothing hidden in menus, but it will eat up quite a bit of space on your pedal board. If you're looking for the phaser for one clean intro, this is probably taking up too much space on your pedal board, and that's not what it's made for. I'm correct about that, right?
Yeah. Then taking the Astrospurt.
Then take the Astrospurt, as he says, because that's much smaller. Yeah, it is. Astrospurt by KMA Audio Machines. Yeah, that is, if I put that right here, let's go to the pedal side. Astrospurt's considerably smaller. Hello, anyone up there? Anyone? Pedal side? Anyone? Yeah, look at the Astrospurt, considerably smaller, almost half. Same or similar sounds. Loads of things set upable inside, what you can set upable on the outside here. So yeah, if you want something for once in a while phasing, if you want to play around and you're a tinker guy and switch things, and then the Horizont is what you need. So okay, size, up to you to decide whether or not you want to sacrifice that pedal board space. Something Enrico knows that it's not perfect, and in the future he'll work on that, but right now the technology doesn't allow it. Tap. Usually, I would go, and I think most of you would, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it till you're confident that you're in the groove. There are some pedals like the Joyo D-Seat, which will only accept taps in groups of 2, meaning 1, 2. See, right now, that's actually not what I tapped, because on my last tap, I was, what the...
Don't go fool, because the LED
LFO,
is showing
the waveform.
half the circle.
It's showing what? It's showing half the cycle?
Half the cycle.
So that's eighth notes now. So the LED is showing you eighth notes to my quarter notes. Right?
Right.
Okay, he says right. I don't think he knows what I'm talking about.
Just trying to fool you.
So the point is, you have to tap 2 or 4 or 6 times. If you do 3, 5, 7... Yes, that's correct.
It's just about counting.
You have to count while you're tapping. That's not ideal. That's far away from ideal. But to compromise at the moment might be fixed in the future, and even something that is, according to him, upgradable in the future. So, okay. Just so you know, you have to count. Don't get it and go like 3 times, what's going on? I told you, I warned you. And waveform knob, I think, should be quite a bit bigger. And go click, click, click. Actually have notches for the different waveforms. And I want little pictures. I want goddamn little pictures. That's just me. Yeah, you can look in the manual. Yeah, I know now roughly that this is roughly where square is and ramp and so. But I think that knob, for me, that's a very important knob because it's a great knob. It's different waveforms are so much fun. So I want that to be selectable on the dot. Really go like, here's my sample and hold, and here's this. For that, I need a bigger knob, and I need a knob with pictures on it. We did fight about that last night. We were rolling around in the mud, and it got pretty bad. We both have bruises, but we're still friends, right?
Cheers.
He says cheers. So I guess we're good. So that's it. Horizont by KMA Machines. Pretty damn awesome. What? That's what it says. It's KMA Machines.
We're not in Asia. It's KMA.
KMA audio machines, even though audio is not on the pedal. It doesn't even say that on there. He's ignoring me now. He's just completely, he's like, whatever. KMA audio machines, Enrico Preuss, up there doing forbidden things, Harry and Robin. Harry and Robin. Get it? Animals at the end. Bye, guys.
Without direction, the